What's going on YouTube? Street Runner 51 here. Coming at you with the deck profile today. It's more like a Destiny Hero Tele thing. It's a September 1st, 2011 format. And I feel that this deck is going to be the next big thing. The way it's made, in my opinion, it counters the way a lot of decks run. And I only have 10 minutes to record this because of my phone, so I guess I'll have to hurry it up. But one Dark Arm Dragon, obviously, it's Teledad-ish. I mean, I'm not going to say it's Teledad, but it runs the aspect of it a little bit. BLS. I run 2 lights, and the deck exceeds 2, so makes Utopia pretty easily. Dark Simorgh. You may think this is bad, but since there's no longer triple Dark Armed, the deck needs another boss that's similar. And since the deck can search a lot, and I mean a lot, and it can synchro summon a lot, might as well run Dark Simorgh as pretty much filler for the second or third Dark Armed. Gorz is a staple. I only have one effect Veiler, but it's still a staple, in my opinion. It adds the light count. Now for the main aspect of the deck, heroes, one Stratos, pretty self-explanatory. One Ocean. You do run Miracle Fusion, and I don't have the Shining, so Ocean puts in a lot of work, especially because you can recycle your Destiny heroes. That's another reason what makes this card really busted in this deck. One Plasma. It's another boss that this deck can get out. If you read its effect, I guess you have to pause the video, but if you read its effect, it is really good. The fact that you can take control of an opponent's monster and have it gain attack, and at the same time they lose all their effects, it's just too good to be true. It's like a skill drain only for your opponent. Double Dasher. D-draw target. Same with Plasma. Same with Plasma on Allure of Darkness too. You can use that for it. And his effect is pretty much just extraordinary in this deck. The fact that you can just draw a monster and instantly special summon it makes it a really useful card. Double Diamond Dude. His effect, you have 10 targets for his effect in this deck, and 10 things that aren't targets in this deck. But when you pull off the targets for it, his effect is more than broken, because without having to pay the cost for something similar, something so much as like Pot of Duality, you can still special summon your next turn. Because the cost is you can activate it so long as so long as you can provide that you're not going to special summon that turn. So it's really, really good. Double Krebins, like I said, a little bit of Teledad in it, and that's what kind of keeps this deck alive, is the fact that they never hit Krebins. And he can stay on the field for a really long time if you know how to play him. Zombie Master. I'm tossing in a little bit of the Zombie Engine. Notice how I don't run Malicious. It's too much of a dead hand. It's too much of a dead card in this deck because there's no what's the word I'm looking for? There's no Dark Refer in this deck. That was what I was looking for. Plague Spreader. It's another level 2 tuner. Really, really good for the zombie part of this deck. Sorry for the bad camera. I have to use my hand stuff. Oh, bad. Nah. Okay. One Goblin Zombie. It searches out whatever you need at the current situation and really works with Zombie Master. Because the last zombie I run is Mizuki. Brings back whatever you really need. Doesn't matter if it's not Plague. Say you get back Zombie Master, pitch a monster in your hand. Say you fill for the next, the last Dark for Dark Armed. Special summon Plague Spreader with Zombie Master's effect, synchro summon, and then you have exactly 3 Darks. It could work. One D Alchemist. It's the only other light in this deck, other than Utopia, which is in the extra deck and stuff like that. But I'm not gonna go over that. It'll take too much time. Yeah. Since you can remove a lot in this deck, it's good to be able to bring things back. It's nice to see them again, and it really puts a lot of playability in this deck, in my opinion. Sangan, it searches. I mean, I'm not going to go much more into that than it searches. Summoner Monk, only one. I'm not going to go over it because it's a card I have to take out eventually. There are a lot of level 4s, but at the same time, the fact that you could search is good, but also the fact that I don't always have spells to ditch. That's what's bad. 1E teleport. It's not bad. I don't know what people say. Whoa, 1. Not good anymore. Are you kidding me? Still busted. Did the effect change at all? I don't think so. That's what really makes me aggravated. It's like, oh, the card's not good anymore. Certain cards, yes. I mean, I have to agree. If Malicious was at 1, it would suck. But the effect never changed. It still says you can special summon 1 level 3 or lower psychic type monster from your hand or deck. It's removed during the end phase. It still says that. So I don't know what people are complaining about that's bad now. Well, it's not as good to run. Just because there's not as much synchro spamming, that's all. 2 duality. You can open up with the best or the worst hands, and duality really just like takes that problem out of the deck. Double D draw, pretty obvious for concept. 1 allure. It's not a 3 anymore, but I mean it's kind of sad to hear there's not 3 for this deck, but it's still good. Like I said, the effect hasn't changed. Miracle Fusion to make that ocean. It's also something to ditch. Something to reveal for Diamond Dude. It's really good. Rhoda. I'm not going to go over that. You obviously know what it would do. What it does and everything. Foolish. You need to fuel your graveyard a lot in this deck. And Foolish Burial is a card to do it with. That's why I run it. Book of Moon. Heavy Storm. Oh, no. Yep. Heavy Storm. Monster Reborn. Dark Hole. MST, and now for the traps. I was about to put them on top. 1 Solemn, still good. And this deck needs a lot of control, because once you stop it, it's very hard to get back. So I'm thinking about throwing in some Dark Bribes. 1 Dust Shoot. You obviously need to run it. It's something that gives control to the deck, and anything that gets control and knowledge, that's what makes the deck that much better. And like I said, I do run it somewhat like the old versions of like Yu-Gi-Oh! And with some of the old cards. I don't have any D-Prison, so Sakuretsu Armor. Only at 1. It's a destruction effect, so it's not always going to be viable, but when it is set, they attack, Sakuretsu Armor. Nothing worse than being trumped by a 2-cent card. Plus, at the same time, if they know you have it, it really gets that fear factor in there. Bottomless. You need to get rid of monsters. Your opponent can win just as fast as you can if you have a bad hand. So, you need some kind of control. Like I said, Bottomless is one of the cards to do it with, same with Sakuretsu Armor. Call. It can bring back something like your Stratos. Your Stratos or your Ocean during their end phase, so you still get to return something, which is really good. Then, 1 Torrential. I'm not going to go over that. I don't know. I only have a minute and a half to to finish this, so I'm trying to go as fast as I can. Alright. Let's see how much of this we can get in. For side, 1 Doomlord, Avarice. This is just stuff you can also throw in. Chaos Sorcerer, Mind Control, Summoner Monk. This is part of my real side. 3 Puppet Plant. 1 Chivalry, really good. 1 Chain Disappearance, amazing. Lastly, 1 Starlight Road. Okay, so that's the deck. Once I get a camera that can go past 10 minutes, I'll start explaining. I'll really do a lot more content. I just figured out how to like throw everything in, how to do all the stuff I'm doing now on my phone. Like, I didn't even know I could, like, I didn't know why I couldn't send video messages, but now I know why. So, I hope you guys enjoyed, and so 40 seconds left, so I'll still talk for a couple of seconds. Yeah. I can't think of anything to talk about right now other than the fact that this deck right here, it'll win you a weekend tournament. If put a couple of bucks into it, it's a really cheap deck to make if you think about it, because you don't need all this stuff. A lot of it's filler for what used to be the real deck. So yeah, I have to end my video here, so peace out, YouTube.